Welcome back here with us on Times Now, and this is the news, our special edition. Viewers, it is a massive win for India. US Supreme Court has cleared Mumbai attack convict Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India as it dismissed a review petition against its conviction in the case. Now, this decision concludes a prolonged legal battle as the apex court dismissed Tahawwur Rana's petition to avoid extradition. Rana is accused of significant involvement in the 2008 Mumbai terror attacks that killed 166 people, including 6 Americans. Tahawwur Rana is accused of aiding his longtime friend David Coleman Headley, a Pakistani-American operative of Lashkar-e-Toiba. Meanwhile, there is no end to politics over this issue. Despite being one step closer to delivering justice to the victims of 26/11, Sena, the UBT faction and its MP, Sanjay Rao, took a dig at centre and claimed that it was a court process that called for the extradition in this particular case. And in fact, he called for the extradition of other high-profile fugitives, including Daud Ibrahim and Tiger Memon. Congress party, on the other hand, wants credit for the extradition of Tahawwur Rana and echoes similar tunes of Congress, in fact, of the Uddhav Sena, the UBT faction. In a scathing response, BJP has hailed Rana's extradition and the step closer that we have come to his extradition as a major victory for the country, urging the UBT to refrain from making cheap statements. Listen into this war of words.
देखिए, ये एक न्यायालयीन प्रोसेस है, ये अच्छी बात है, लेकिन नीरव मोदी का क्या? मेहुल चौकसी कब आएगी? आपने दाऊद इब्राहिम, छोटा शकील को भी हिंदुस्तान में घसीट कर लाने की बात की थी बीजेपी ने, ये सब कब आएगी?
ये तवक्कुर राना के बारे में कांग्रेस पार्टी जब सत्ता पे थी तब से ये चला है। नीरव मोदी भाग गया, ललित मोदी भाग गया, उसके पहले ये भाग गया है, दाऊद इब्राहिम भी भाग गया। इन सबको लाइए और कानून के जरिए उनको जो ये करना है, उनके सजा करनी है, वो कानून के जरिए कीजिए।
इतनी बड़ी जीत, क्या इस पर भी उद्धव ठाकरे और उनके नेता ऊंची राजनीति करेंगे? बालक के भांति बयानबाजी करने के पहले राष्ट्र प्रथम इस विचारधारा की सोच में रखे।
And joining us on this debate this evening is Vishwas Pathak, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Advocate Kapil Madan, who is a political analyst, and Sajid Supariwala, spokesperson of Shiv Sena, the UBT faction. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. Sajid Supariwala, I'd like to begin this debate with you because it was the comment of Mr. Sanjay Raut that led to this entire controversy, and we are now seeing politics happening on this particular issue when India has moved a step closer to getting justice to the victims of 26/11, because now the route is clear for extradition of India's most wanted Tahawwur Rana. But it was Mr. Sanjay Raut who, instead of lauding it as India's victory, said this is a judicial process. What is happening, sir?
See, definitely this is a judicial process, and no political party should not take the credit for this. If it is a good time for India, and be it celebration India, why it should be celebration BJP?
Who is
Secondly,
celebrating
I want to come
BJP?
to the point that
It is a victory for the country. Who is celebrating the BJP here?
Can I complete my statement? Let me complete, because if you are letting me talk, I will be able to explain what I'm trying to say. So right now, instead of making merry and celebrating the victory, we are not yet victorious. Let the person come here, let him be extradited to India, let him join, let him be taken to task. Secondly, Nirav Modi is not there. If Sanjay Raut Sahib is demanding about it, what is wrong in that? Get Nirav Modi also, get Vijay Mallya also, get that other person who I forgot the name. So many names are there on the list. And why are we not, instead of celebrating, why are we not working hard for that? Why is Nirav Modi still not brought to India? We are celebrating a victory right now. First, let the fugitives come back. Then you celebrate. It's too early to celebrate right now.
Okay.
That is what I'm trying to say here.
Okay. It's too early to celebrate. That's what Uddhav Sena says. Vishwas Pathak, how will you like to respond?
See, Uddhav Sena had got an opportunity to have CM for 2.5 years, and this state has seen that CM was sitting at home and operating from there. During daytime, sadhus were burnt alive, journalists were put behind the bar, and Home Minister was given extortion. So we give damn to Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena.
No, one person at a time. One person at a time, please. One person at a time, please. 1 second. Sajid Supariwala, 1 second. Sajid Supariwala, 1 second.
Have courage. Have courage to understand and accept the reality. The Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India has become now reality.
I would like to reply to
Apex Court of US has rejected the writ of certiorari whereby this person is going to come to India. And it is the victory of our nation, judicial system, strategy and perseverance has paid us back. Similarly, Mehul Choksi or Modi and this Malya all will come back. For your information, I have found out some information post 2014 to 2016. There are 10 extraditions done during this period.
Okay.
Between 2019 to till date, 23 extraditions. So this extradition is going on post Mr. Modi's coming to power in a very regular way, and many more will come.
Okay.
If you are talking about Dawood is in enemy's country where there is no law, there is no judicial system. Still, we are working on that, and everybody will be booked. They will come to India.
Okay.
And it is a big success for this 2611 culprits. Whereby everything will
Before
be
I go across to Advocate Kapil Madan, I think Mr. Sajid Supariwala wants to respond. Please go ahead. 10 seconds. Quickly make your point.
14 years it's been taking. You have been telling that you are bringing all the fugitives back. 14 years, nothing has happened yet. One court judicial process happened, and then you are making merry. And you are taking the credit for the same. You have not done anything on your side. It is just a judicial process.
50 extraditions happened post 2014.
Okay, let us see. 14 years you have been saying that.
Modi. For judicial process also you require strategy.
Mr. Vishwas Pathak, 1 second. You know, this way we will not be able to have a civil debate if you will speak over each other. I gave 10 seconds to Mr. Sajid Supariwala to quickly respond. I think he has made his point now. Now, Mr. Vishwas Pathak and Mr. Sajid Supariwala, both of you, now please calm down, both of you. Let me also go across to Advocate Kapil Madan, who is a political analyst, also live with us. I will come back to both of you again. Now, Advocate Kapil Madan, amidst, you know, what's happening between BJP and the Uddhav Sena, we have a reaction coming in from the Congress party. Even though BJP has not claimed it as BJP's victory, BJP is saying it's India's victory. Uddhav Sena is questioning that how is it a victory? It's just like a normal judicial procedure. We had the Congress party coming out and saying that it was because of the Congress party that Tahawwur Rana, in fact, is being brought here. So there is one party that is now claiming credit for this whole thing. Your response?
So, you know, let me just tell your viewers a very basic thing. Now, what happens is whenever any crime is committed, it is, you know, what the investigation, how the investigation progresses and the quality of investigation, how, you know, the evidence has been collected, and all those things are presented before the courts of law, and thereafter the trial happens. Now, we've seen more often than not, sometimes the investigating agencies make a miss or, you know, commits an error, which sometimes proves fatal, and the accused ultimately gets you know, a benefit of doubt because of those errors, and he gets some sort of, you know, favorable order from the court. Now, once you have a situation where, you know, this particular person has been convicted.
So, 1 second. Sorry to interrupt you there. Sorry to interrupt you there, Advocate Kapil Madan. Before you continue your point, just one clarification I need. Just one clarification I need. I will give you time to respond. Advocate Kapil Madan.
It will be required once I make my, you know, statement complete.
Okay, just one quick clarification. Just one quick clarification. Are you saying that in this case, the good news that India has got from the US Supreme Court is not because of the effort that Indian government has made over the years? Is that what you meant when you made your opening remark?
Now, let me just say one thing here. When there is an issue of cross-border terrorism or an offense which is committed by someone who is not in the country, he is sitting somewhere outside, you have, different prosecuting agencies, investigating agencies working in close cooperation with each other. And I don't want to sound technical here, but there is a process called letters regulatory, which is basically issued to get evidence from the other country if the offense has been committed in a different country. Now, what I am saying is that I have not seen the entire judgment, but what I would presume, and you would agree with me, that the Supreme Court's decision is basis the evidence that was presented before the court, and some of it was provided by the Indian agencies. Now, given that factual situation, all I am trying to say here is, I also understand that judicial process, especially, like this, when you have different countries involved, different investigating agencies involved, it takes a considerable amount of time. But if it reaches a logical conclusion, it shows what? It shows that investigation in that case has happened, in a proper manner. It was a thorough investigation. It didn't have any kind of loopholes or any kind of error which could have given, some sort of benefit to the accused.
Fair enough.
All I'm trying to say here is, before anyone, should, take credit of, this development, you must laud the investigation that happened during that period, that was 2009. It shows that the investigation was thorough. It shows the investigation was prompt. It shows that the investigation was, in a very, comprehensive manner. And therefore, you have reached this situation where a person has been, convicted, and now you have a situation where he can potentially be extradited back to India. Now, what I am trying to say is, what opposition is trying to say, or is trying to corner the government, is that, you should show similar level of, comprehension or similar level of cohesive investigation in the other cases also, like Nirav Modi, so that these cases are also brought to their logical conclusion, and these individuals should not get any kind of benefit of any kind of error, maybe advertent or inadvertent, so that he or she should be booked to justice as quickly as possible.
Fair enough. The points that you have raised are important. But, the question that's being asked today is, who is playing politics here? Who is saying, who is questioning what has happened in the US Supreme Court? Because it was Uddhav Sena that started by saying that is just procedural. It was something that was like a regular process. And then, BJP said that it is India's victory when we have moved a step closer to getting Tahawwur Rana back to India. Why should we as a country not celebrate this big achievement? And then it was the Congress party that jumped in and, started claiming credit for it. So I'm just asking each one of you, who is doing politics on this particular issue at a time when, as a country, we should be united and, feeling proud of this fact that finally we have moved one step closer to justice. And we all know, all four of us know very well, and our viewers also know, that extradition is not an easy process. Let's begin with you, Advocate Kapil Madan. Won't you agree?
Sorry, I lost voice. Can you come again, please?
I'm saying we all know extradition is not an easy process. It is quite a difficult process. And at a time when we all should celebrate this fact that we have at least moved after so many years, one step, a big step closer to ensuring justice to the victims of 26/11 attack.
So yes, I agree.
Why do politics on this?
No, so what I am trying to, it's not about politics. It's about, again, I would like to reiterate what I've said here. It's not only, this government who has done this. There has been a considerable work that was done by the previous government and the investigative agency that was working, at that point in time, with the government. So all I'm trying to say here is that, yes, I do agree with you. It's a collective effort. And, yes, you have reached a logical conclusion. And opposition is right in demanding the same level of, effort from the present government so that the other accused persons who have defrauded the country and have escaped should also, get the similar fate.
Okay.
So saying that it is a unnecessary politicization, I think it's completely misconceived.
Quick response, Vishwas Pathak, 10 seconds, please.
See, this government is a continuing process. All agencies are working in tandem. Whosoever is a prime minister, it is not question of taking credit. So all credit goes to all these agencies. And I'm very confident, be it Nirav Modi, be it Mallya, or be it Choksi, all will be booked and they'll brought to India through extradition. Like in this case, this Rana came up to 17 years. In other cases, it is a matter of 6 or 7, 8 years now. Law is taking its own course, but in due course, they will also come back to India.
Okay. Sajid Supariwala, closing comments, 10 seconds only.
The advocate before me, he had seconded my thought in his legal terms that nobody should be able to take credit for the same. It has been a process. During the previous government also, they have been making the investigation, the agencies and everything have been happening earlier also. And secondly, we are trying to tell you here, we want the same fate for Nirav Modi, Mehul Chokshi, etc., who are still not here. They are still fugitives. So what we are trying to make a point here is this was a judicial process.
Okay.
It has been definitely a work of a collective work of the earlier agency, earlier government also.
Okay.
So
well, for the benefit of our viewers, I'd like to quickly read out, as per records received from Ministry of External Affairs, 65 requests for extradition of fugitive criminals made by India are under consideration of US authorities. In total, there are about 178 requests that were made over the past 5 years to different countries for extradition. Now, that was a response in the parliament that was given. So that's the stated position of the government in this particular case so far. We can really hope that like Tahawwur Rana, others are also brought back to India very soon and face trial. But for now, I'm completely out of time. Thank you very much, all of you gentlemen, for joining us. Vishwas Pathak, Advocate Kapil Madan and Sajid Supariwala. Appreciate all of you for joining us here on the News Hour this evening.